Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Hello everyone, welcome to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what we do on this channel, hit on the subscribe button. Also put on the notification bell so you'll be notified by YouTube anytime we drop a new video. And if you are returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch our videos. On this platform, we drop videos every day and we react to every video that come our way. And on this very video, I will be watching with you. And after watching, let's go to the comment section and drop our opinion constructively. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible. See you next time in my next.
According to the World Bank, if Nigeria continue to hold the fuel subsidy out of the window, the country could save as much as 11 trillion naira by the year 2025. So now let's get some insights into this particular latest report as we bring on the show a development economist and a public policy analyst. Dr. Professor Ken Ife is live to us from our Abuja studio. Great having you on the show again tonight, Professor. We thank you. It's a holiday Wednesday evening here in Nigeria. We appreciate making the studios.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Let me start by asking you, what do you make of the latest World Bank economic report on Nigeria for the first half of this year?
The World Bank report is positive, is fair, and it actually points at some of the things that they thought ought to enter into the equation, some packages. I think it's fair, in this assessment is fair, but we need to get to the details of it at some point.
Well, the details is where we're going right now, but overall speaking, you believe this is a fair assessment of where we are in the first half of the year. So do you think with this report, it looks like we're starting to scratch the surface of economic renaissance post-general elections? Does it look like that to you?
I think it does. I think it does, because the two shots that were fired by President Tinubu in quick succession, which is the convergence. Please, I don't want to call it unification of exchange rates, it's convergence, because unification is a long way away. And then, of course, the subsidy removal. Those two shots are keeping everybody busy, and we need to get around what the ramifications of those. But of course, the positive signal of agreeing the student loan is also important, because it's now going into social inclusion agenda to deal with some of the forgotten players in this whole game. So I think it is. But again, we need to unravel the details and what this portends to the economy.
Well, the chief economist of the World Bank, Alex Sina, said in that statement we showed earlier that having created momentum, so you believe the momentum has been created over the last 30 days. By tomorrow, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be 30 days in office.
Yeah, he has. But what has happened is people need to control their expectations, because we're only dealing with one side of this equation. You know, I always say that price, in any issues around price, whether it is Forex or inflation or exchange rate or MPR rate, you have to look at the demand and the supply, because in any case, you are looking for equilibrium price. So what equilibrium about what? If you're talking only of demand, then you are never going to get any equilibrium. So you need to handle, put both on the table and see what exactly needs to be done on the supply side. People avoid the discussion of the supply side of Forex, and that's not fair. We need to tackle that, and I have about 9 different things that we need to do in that respect to ensure that there is an adequate supply of Forex. And then, of course, you also know that as long as the 41 items are delisted from Forex CBN Forex eligibility, they will continue to play on the black market side. So getting an equilibrium price is far-fetched, until you address those.
Do you think we have the conditions precedent, that is conditions needed right now to bring those 41 items back to the list, or just take them off as it were? Do you think we should bring them back in right now under the current circumstance of what you call exchange regime, not unification, but you says there's going to be another terminology for it. It's not unification, but it's still an adjustment in the manner of speaking. And do you think the fuel subsidy removal also gives us the window to do that right now?
No, there are two separate things. The fuel subsidy removal only marginally helps on the forex supply, but it's not the end at all. That is, and in fact, we'll even probably go to the next question about whether that fuel subsidy removal will necessarily promote growth. It can only promote growth if it is reasonably, that saving is applied to productive activity, to create output, to, and then disposable income, with which people can now increase purchases and aggregate demand. If you miss those two, then you're not going to apply, it won't affect growth. But if you just save that, take that saving and spend it, then it's not going to move the growth figure anywhere at all. It's just even going to worsen things because it's going to fuel more inflation. So we need to get into that debate. But coming to the Forex, the one you mentioned on Forex, we need to examine critically all the areas that have to create increase in supply of Forex before you think of bringing in the 41 items into the equation. Because the 41 items are on the demand side of the Forex. They're only asking for Forex to import all the things that will damage our trade balances and also balance of payment.
So the World Bank recommends in that report yesterday that the government should implement a comprehensive package of reforms to minimize impact of food subsidy and the exchange rate unification. We'll talk about that. But again, do you think giving cash transfers is the best way to go right now for millions of Nigeria? What would you recommend?
No, we need to, it was good that the shots were fired. Normally, on a good day, you would have said, where are the conditions precedent? What was agreed? Where is the package? But the thing is that Nigerians can't wait anymore. They can't wait anymore for this subsidy to be removed. So he was in order to fire that shot. But having done that, we now had to sit down, and I said within a month, to actually agree all kinds of packages. Remember, in development, you have two-way traffic. You have the fast lane, which is where you promote entrepreneurship, you go for growth. Then you have the slow lane, where you protect the weakest and in our community. And then also you try not to rely a lot on palliatives. Instead, you give them such measured support that will come into the arena of productive activity. Say, for example, if you gave bags of seed for people to plant and it is free, they will plant them and then they will get yield on it, and then they will get renewable, the income will come from that. But if you just keep feeding and feeding, then you never get to the position where you can actually generate growth and then sustainably reduce poverty. So we're going to have to balance those. But in the end of the day, however you package it, you must know that shortage of Forex is actually what is causing the underlying factor. If an NPC, for example, accounts for 79% of the Forex supply from crude and 10% from gas, 11%, both of them account for 90%. So what are we talking about? If you don't deal with that 90% and scrutinize if you don't get to the bottom of that, then we're going to be here for a long time talking about this. The remaining 10% is diaspora remittance. You have Forex, FDI, which is dwindling with speed, and then you have foreign portfolio investment, which cancels out because it's in and out. Then you have to be sure what we're talking about. So until we get to that, and then look at all the other ways you can bring in money. For example, even in the speech of the president alluded to credit creation. That means consumer explosion, consumer credit explosion. And that is one good way of bringing in dollars into the economy. Mr. Thatcher did that in 1980. And they had an influx of dollar into the economy to promote credit. And then the people, that credit should not be purely for consumption. It should be targeted to manufacturers who are manufacturing cars, for example. If the people manufacturing cars are doing only 3,000 cars a year, that if the credit flows through them, it means that consumer credit is coming to enable them to manufacture 10 times more cars, and we buy those, we are putting down 10%, and then all these 400,000 cars you are smuggling in through Cotonou will go. That business will go. So we have our manufacturers manufacturing many times more. We have people buying and then reselling and coming back and taking new cars. So that second-hand market will increase, and it will be based on jobs that are created in Nigeria. And we have so many more examples of productivity that will increase when this credit is focused on those who are manufacturing their goods, enabling them to sell. And those who are building houses, you don't need 100% to buy a house. You don't need 100% to buy a car. You can take only 10%, and then you walk away with a mortgage. You walk away with a car, and then you now get the whole productivity in the country increasing in quantum. So that's where you have to direct that credit to, rather than to pure consumption that has no impact on our productivity. But of course, there are other areas too that, you know, that if you do an amnesty, for example, I mean, it has to be debated. If you do an amnesty on repatriations, then of course, dollars will flow in, and a part of it will go to foreign reserves, to increase foreign reserves. A lot of that will come to cushion the payment that we have to make on dollar-denominated loans. Many measures. There are a lot of these measures. Of course, export promotion has to come into top gear, because if the CBN is relaxing the other program that they have, then we're going to find a successful program that will continue to push export revenue on the other side of things.
So right now, you said the shots being fired. President Tinubu has fired 2 shots, one into the FX market, the other into the fuel subsidy regime. So what do you think needs to follow from concrete point of view to leverage these two shots being fired already? And how quickly should we do that? We're just now getting into the second half of the year in the next couple of days.
Now, yeah, if you go to the market, you will see why there should be an urgency in dealing with this matter. You know, people can't buy the food in the market. Prices have doubled, and then that means it's going to come on the next inflation figure, and the second one for in the next 2 months. You will begin to see them in inflation figures. And then people can't actually afford transport costs. I don't know how they're going to be going to work. So, which means that we need to talk about that package on the social inclusion side, and then on how to revise and upgrade the salaries of some of this stuff, what they call minimum wage, and then some other help and assistance on transport systems and all of that. That package will need to be discussed, because there's an urgency about this. Because I went to market yesterday and I was petrified with what I saw going on in the marketplace. So I'm not alone in this. I don't see how many people can go to work. But anyway, having said that, we need to also tackle you are going to generate savings. Where are you going to put those savings to? The savings you are going to generate, they're going to go into productive activity. Because when it goes to productive activity, then it increases output. Then the people you employ that gets money, disposable income, will increase aggregate demand. Then you are shooting up GDP. GDP will now go up. But if you do it any other way, just to carry it, and then you're going to have more problem facing us, because you're going to have to fuel inflation. If we spend it unwisely, inflation will continue to go. And then, of course, the second thing, of course, is the liquidity management. The Forex liquidity management needs to be put on the table. What are the sources that you have to go to generate more Forex revenue? And then before we focus on demand management, because the demand management is what we've been looking at for the last 7 years, we need to look at the supply of Forex.
Yes, so my people, as I tell una say I go come back, I don't come back, una welcome back. As una see that video, una watch, how una see am. I want una leave una comment for the comment section there. Una tell me how una see the matter, whether it good or it bad. If it good, make una let me know. If it still bad, make una still let me know. Una remember, say everybody gets freedom of speech. Okay? Alright. Thank you very much. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, my brothers and sisters, my mommies and my daddies over there. Is your sister again, your doctor, your friend, your girl, Anointed Lady TV. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe for me. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will be notified. So in this my channel, I will be bringing up many things to you in which you will benefit from it. I do talk show, I do news, anything you want to talk about, I am into it. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload any video or each time I'm on live on YouTube, you will be notified. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Please do subscribe for me, and as you do so, God will richly bless you and meet your heart desire. Thank you very much. I love you all.